Novak Djokovic's Dubai charm offensive. If Novak Djokovic has been scarred by the furious saga of his deportation from Australia, he hid it well as he sat in a press conference before today's comeback in Dubai and declared that he was mentally, emotionally, and physically refreshed. Possibly undercooked for his first match since the Davis Cup in December, the Serbian, 34, is definitely unrepentant and still unvaccinated. The players' hotel here has a relaxation room adorned with quotes from eminent scientists, including Thomas Edison, but there has been no light bulb moment. Despite the ATP, the governing body of the men's tour, confirming that Djokovic is the only unvaccinated player in the top 100, the world number one said he had been well received by the few players he has seen in Dubai. "It's nice to see," he said. "I can't say that was the case in Australia. That was a little bit strange, but here it's all well so far." Yet he still cannot explain the apparently out-of-sequence serial number on his positive COVID test of December 16 that enabled him to travel to the Australian Open on a medical exemption. "I understand. I've seen the media has been speculating about the validity of the tests," he said. "I'm not an IT expert. In the last 2 years, so many PCR tests, rapid antigen tests. I'm not in a position to understand how these tests are being processed and registered. I'm glad that the Institute for Public Health in Serbia has come out publicly and validated those tests." Being unable to defend his Australian Open title will have a lasting sting, but the small beer of the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships has been a happy hunting ground. He has won it 5 times, and it is likely to be a safe haven after the maelstrom of Melbourne. His opponent today is Lorenzo Musetti, an Italian teenager, who was pulled from the National Bank Open in Toronto last year for a COVID protocol breach after leaving the tournament bubble. His second-round opponent could be Alex de Minaur, Australia's top player and the world number 32, which will no doubt whet the appetite of the disgruntled Down Under. It still seems remarkable that Djokovic would gamble his chance to go down in history as the greatest of all time on the COVID vaccine issue. He claims that he is open-minded, but last night's brief press conference was halted before he was asked what evidence he needed to see before changing his mind. In the meantime, he has seen Rafael Nadal take his Australian Open title and move clear in the pantheon of men's greats with 21 Grand Slam singles titles, and though he said he did not know the permutations that would lead to him losing the world number one status to Daniil Medvedev this week, that may reflect a resignation that it is going to happen sooner or later given his stance is sabotaging his schedule. "He deserves to be number one," Djokovic said of the Russian. "Eventually, it's going to happen. If it happens this week, I'll be the first one to congratulate him." Djokovic's post-Dubai future remains in a state of flux. "I just have to follow the rules," he said. "Whatever tournament that I'm able to play, I'll be trying to get to that country. Obviously, I'm not intending to play the full schedule. That wasn't my intention and my goal prior to this season. I was trying to aim to play my best at the Grand Slams and playing for my country. Those were the biggest motivation. Right now the situation is obviously different. I really can't choose right now. It's about where I can go. Wherever I have an opportunity, I'll be using that because this is what I do. It's what I still love to do. I have support from my family. My team is still there with me. That's important for me because obviously it was not easy for anyone." Djokovic's fan club will forever think he was mistreated in Australia, and his father's risible claim that his son was like both Jesus Christ and Spartacus shows the intensity of feeling in his camp. However, the Djokovic of Dubai has been on something of a charm offensive, talking of how he will never have life without tennis, of helping the next generation, and only removing his mask when told to. Surely, becoming front-page news, it made it hard to prepare psychologically for this return. "It wasn't an everyday situation, so to say, what happened in Australia," he said with impressive understatement. "It was strange. I was disappointed. I was sad the way it all played out and the way I left the country. But once I knew I was allowed to come here and play, it wasn't that hard for me to get on the court, speak to my team and create a plan. Considering what I've been through in the last couple of months, I'm even more motivated and inspired to play my best tennis. Of course, it's not a guarantee, but I did my best to put myself in a good position."